I can't see another way around it. That's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm really keen to get to the end point. If it takes a year, I suppose that's okay.
You lose all the opportunity with the existing proposed redevelopments happening in, I don't know, most of the major areas.
And where, Yanni?
I'd say Eastgate, Riccarton, I don't know what's happening in Northlands, possibly Ferrymead in terms of the repairs, Barrington. So,
Okay.
there's one happening out of Belfast.
So is there any way in which we can capture the redevelopment of Barrington? It's not major redevelopment of Riccarton, it's just continual. Northwood,
there's some massive development going on up there, and
further out Hallsville, not Meadowlands, further out.
Yeah, can I just assure you that we are working very closely with a lot of the mall owners at the moment. Northlands is one example where they are proposing an extension, and we are working with them. And it's still under negotiation, but it looks at this stage why there might be a favourable outcome for PT of some sorts. We've already worked with AMP, who was working on the Northwood site and the new development they had across the road, which isn't yet built. It's on the Stick Centre, and that we have got 4,000 square metres set aside for public transport on that site. So once that's built, that will be for a bus interchange in Belfast. And we are continuing to have discussions with Riccarton, as you know, with the interchange there. So we are in the background still having discussions.
Interchange at Belfast?
We will have to pay for it.
But that's the point. These guys get huge benefit from rezoning. They get huge profits. They buy up cheap land, turn it into commercial, make a killing, and then we have to pay for the infrastructure to deal with the benefit that they've got. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah. Yeah, they will pay DCs. So that I think the figures, unfortunately, the way the DC policy is worded, and that's come from legislation, as Yanni's has pointed out, legislation is getting made more and more tighter. At the moment, only about 3% of the cost is collected from DCs because of how tight the legislation is. So yes, we get DCs. It doesn't pay for all the costs by any means. Yeah.
Yeah, I did actually. I was just interested to hear discussions with Northlands. Just on a procedural find out about that as
Sure. I'm not. I might come back to you on that one, but we can take it offline. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. We have already got assessment matters on the integrated transport assessments rule that I discussed with you yesterday, and so that will be in place in phase one. And so if developments come under phase one, we can still assess, and through conditions we can put requirements on. It'll be a case by case basis until we have the planning that will come in phase two in terms of exactly where we want it to be.
Okay, and this is a weird question, but if you guys were the advocates for public transport and active transport, what would you do in the district plan that isn't currently there?
I think the certainty is what we'd seek to do in the district plan, and whether that's the outline development plan or the designation process, but I think that's the key to making these things work, is giving people a certainty as to where they go, so that these other mechanisms and methods, whether it's integrated traffic assessment or whatever, can actually focus in on where we're heading. Without that, it's a little bit unclear.
Okay, thank you. Is there any more questions, comments? Yanni?
Financial contributions, why won't that work?
What we're recommending is that we look at financial contributions in phase two. And
why can't we do it now? Like, it seems pretty straightforward. we can collect, to mitigate the adverse effects, we can collect a financial contribution.
Financial contributions require further analysis to calculate how much is required, but in the absence of outline development plans, the issue is that you don't know where you need to spend that financial contribution. And if we have both the planning aspect, the ODP, as well as the financial side through the financial contributions, then they can work well together. If you're missing one of those, then it's not effective in achieving the outcome you want.
One of the issues why we can't do the planning now is, that, as you're probably aware, ECAN are reviewing all the bus routes at the moment. So it would be pointless to say this is where we want the interchanges to be when the bus routes could change in a few months' time. So we need to wait until that process goes through before we can identify where the interchanges are. So that's the...